Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
Washington Post World, January 15, 12:36 America, New York. Teenager arrested in stabbing near Japan entrance exam venue. Tokyo police say that 3 people, including 2 students on their way to university entrance exams, have been stabbed near a test venue, and authorities arrested a 17-year-old student at the scene on suspicion of attempted murder.
Mirror World News, January 15, 5:24 America, New York. Tonga tsunami, frightening moment. Underwater volcano erupts in South Pacific. The underwater Tonga Abi-Habib volcano erupted in the early hours of Saturday, causing huge waves to crash into homes as terrified residents headed for higher ground.
Washington Post World, January 15, 5:12 America, New York. Lisbon fined $1.4 million for sharing personal data of protesters with foreign countries including Russia. The mayor's office violated the General Data Protection Regulation 225 times, the National Data Protection Commission ruled. New York Times World News, January 15, 5:02 America, New York. 32 years after Civil War, mundane moments trigger awful memories. Cards, candles, sunsets. For this New York Times correspondent and other children of Beirut in the 1980s, traumatic reminders of the war are still there in everyday activities. A power outage in Tripoli, Lebanon, last summer. Washington Post World, January 15, 5:01 America, New York. Underwater volcano erupts prompting tsunami warnings in Tonga and parts of New Zealand. The Tonga Abi-Habib volcano spewed ash, steam and gas up to 20 kilometers, 12 miles, into the air late on Friday. New York Times World News, January 15, 5 o'clock America, New York. Towers rise over London's Brick Lane, clouding its future. Luxury developments and rising rents have ignited concerns about gentrification and displacement in a district that has long been a sanctuary for minority communities. Shops in the Brick Lane neighborhood of East London, which became home to the largest Bangladeshi and Bengali population in Britain. Washington Post World, January 15, 4:40 America, New York. Russian troops return from Kazakhstan. Russia's defense ministry says the troops that were deployed to Kazakhstan as violent demonstrations shook the country have returned home.
Mirror World News, January 15, 4:24 America, New York. Russia may stage fake attacks on own troops as war in Ukraine, just days away. U.S. officials have claimed Russia could soon stage a false flag operation in eastern Ukraine as a way of Vladimir Putin justifying an invasion of the country's western neighbor.
RT World News, January 15, 4:17 America, New York. Forgetting is form of learning, study. Not remembering certain things may be a beneficial, functional feature of the brain. Denying us access to certain cells in the brain that store memories might be a practical feature of the human organism that helps us upgrade decision-making abilities, new research suggests. Washington Post World, January 15, 4:12 America, New York. Deja vu for Novak Djokovic, detained again in Australian hotel before second court battle. A top Australian official said that the continued presence of Djokovic, who is unvaccinated and has expressed opposition to coronavirus vaccines, could exacerbate anti-vaccine sentiments and COVID. RT World News, January 15, 4:04 America, New York. Johnson's plan to dodge resignation uncovered by media. UK PM reportedly deciding which heads should roll for him to survive lockdown parties scandal in a scheme dubbed Operation Save Big Dog. Washington Post World, January 15, 4 o'clock America, New York. Separatists in Cameroon use bullets and bombs in attempt to disrupt Africa's biggest soccer tournament. At least 4,000 people have died since fighting erupted between the separatists and government forces in 2017. Nearly 1 million have lost their homes.
BBC News World, January 15, 3:08 America, New York. Tsunami warning in Tonga after giant eruption. Residents of the Pacific Island nation have been urged to evacuate to higher ground immediately.
New York Times World News, January 15, 3 o'clock America, New York. Cambodia's internet may soon be like China's, state-controlled. Under a new decree, all web traffic will be routed through a government portal. Rights groups say a crackdown on digital expression is about to get worse. Kak Sovan Chai, the 16-year-old son of an opposition politician, was released from a Cambodian prison in November after being jailed for comments he made in a Telegram chat group. Washington Post World, January 15, 2:42 America, New York. Tonga issues tsunami warning after undersea volcano erupts. The Pacific nation of Tonga has issued a tsunami warning after an undersea volcano erupted. Washington Post World, January 15, 2:41 America, New York. Kazakhstan activists recall path from protest to bloodshed. The mass protests in Kazakhstan that began over New Year's weekend because of high fuel prices were peaceful at first, but then something changed. RT World News, January 15, 2:40 America, New York. Most detailed 3D map of universe released. The Dark Energy Spectroscopic Instrument accurately maps galaxy positions through time to help scientists better understand dark energy.
Mirror World News, January 15, 2:22 America, New York. New Spanish COVID travel rules mean big changes for UK tourists. Check them here. Tenerife has tipped over into the highest COVID level restrictions at level 4, while the majority of other Balearic holiday destinations remain at level 3. Mirror World News, January 15, 2:01 America, New York. Tsunami in South Pacific after volcanic eruption in Tonga as New Zealand issues warning. The tsunami was observed by sea level gauges at the capital of the U.S. territory of American Samoa following volcanic activity in Tonga, the U.S.-based Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said.
RT World News, January 15, 1:36 America, New York. Study reveals first recorded animal hybrids. Kungas were created in ancient Mesopotamia by breeding domestic donkeys with Syrian wild asses. Donkey ass hybrids pulled Mesopotamian battle wagons more than half a millennium before horses were bred for the same task, a new scientific report has revealed.
BBC News World, January 15, 1:22 America, New York. Los Angeles Railway littered with thousands of parcels stolen from trains. The tracks have been cleared multiple times over the last 3 months as thieves target trains.